What's the first thing that comes to mind if your RV, food truck, or job site suddenly needed more electricity than a regular plug could ever give? For a lot of folks, that's where a generator with a 50 amp outlet really makes sense. In this video, I'm talking about the best 50 amp generators. I'll go through a handful of options, matched up for a few different categories, so you can quickly figure out which one fits your situation best. All the product links are waiting for you in the description if you want to check them out for yourself. And while you're here, don't forget the like button, subscribe, and click that notification bell so you catch the next video. If you've got any questions, drop them down in the comments and I'll get back to you. Let's get into the reviews. Westinghouse WGen 9500 DFC, best overall 50 amp generator. If I had to point to one generator in this list that feels like the all-around pick, it would be this one. It has the right mix of strength, reliability, and features that make it stand out without feeling overcomplicated. With 12,500 peak watts and 9,500 running watts, there's plenty of juice here to handle a heavy load during an outage or on a work site. One thing that really caught my attention is the dual fuel setup. You can run it on gasoline or propane, and switching between the two is quick thanks to a selector switch. That flexibility can save a lot of headaches if one fuel is easier to find than the other. Starting it up is just as convenient, with a push-button start and even a remote key fob that works from over 200 feet away. That's the kind of feature I'd picture someone showing off to their neighbor just for fun. Safety doesn't get skipped either. It has automatic low-oil shutdown and even a carbon monoxide detection system that turns it off if things get risky. A few folks mentioned small quality control issues, but most agree the performance and build make it a dependable choice. Westinghouse 10,000 watt open frame inverter, best quiet 50 amp generator. If noise is something that worries you with big generators, this one will probably surprise you. For its size and wattage, it runs a lot quieter than most folks expect, especially if you switch it to eco mode. That makes it a strong pick if you want plenty of power without all the extra noise that usually comes with it. You're looking at 10,000 peak watts and 7,600 running watts, backed by a 420cc four-stroke engine. It can run up to 12 hours on a full tank, so it's well suited for keeping things running overnight without constant refueling. The clean electricity output is another big plus, with less than 3% total harmonic distortion, so sensitive electronics are safe. Starting options are flexible too. You've got a push button, a recoil backup, and even a remote start with a key fob. I can just picture someone hitting the button from across the yard like they're unlocking a car. A digital display shows voltage, frequency, and lifetime hours, which makes keeping track of use simple. Most customers are impressed with how well it's built and how complete the package is, right down to the tools and oil. Some mention the weight as a drawback, but with flat-free tires, it's still manageable to move around. WEN DF1100T, best affordable 50 amp generator. If you're looking for something that won't drain the wallet but still packs a punch, this one makes a strong case. It's capable of hitting 11,000 watts at peak, which is more than enough to keep big appliances running during an outage or at a campsite. What really makes it appealing is the dual fuel setup. Being able to switch between gasoline and propane means you've got options depending on what's easier to get your hands on. The 457cc engine starts up with a simple key turn, which saves a lot of arm strength compared to pull cords. There's a full lineup of outlets here too, including 4 standard household plugs, a twist lock, a cigarette lighter style outlet, and the all-important 50 amp connection. That gives you flexibility to run a wide mix of equipment without digging around for adapters. On the practical side, it comes with wheels, a bottle of oil, and even a propane hose, so you're not scrambling to buy extras just to get it going. Customer feedback is mostly positive, though some mention packaging issues or the machine being on the loud side. Think lawnmower levels of sound. Still, for a budget-friendly choice, it's reliable, versatile, and gets the job done. Duramax XP 13,000HX, best dual-fuel 50 amp generator. If you want a generator that can handle just about anything you throw at it, this one sits at the top of the dual-fuel category. With 13,000 peak watts and 10,500 running watts, there's plenty here to keep an entire home going during an outage or run heavy tools on a job site. The flexibility of switching between gasoline and propane is a big advantage, especially if one fuel is easier to track down than the other. The setup is user-friendly. There's a push-button electric start, along with a front-facing fuel interface that makes switching between gas and propane pretty straightforward. You've got a full selection of outlets, including 4 household plugs, a couple of 30-amp options, and a heavy-duty 50-amp outlet that's transfer switch ready. That makes it simple to hook straight into a home backup system. Safety features include carbon monoxide detection, surge protection, and GFCI outlets. On the build side, it uses all copper windings for durability, and the steel frame gives it a rugged look. Customers praise the performance, though some mention issues like the battery draining after repeated starts. Still, with its strength, flexibility, and ease of use, it's a very dependable pick. Westinghouse WGen 11500 TFC Tri-Fuel. Best high-power 50-amp generator. If you want serious wattage and the most flexibility in fuel choices, this one is the heavyweight of the group. With 14,500 peak watts on gasoline, 13,500 on propane, and 12,000 on natural gas, it gives you options without cutting back on strength. That kind of range means you can pick whichever fuel is easiest to get during an outage, which can be a real lifesaver if supplies are tight. The 550cc engine runs up to 19 hours on a full 9.5-gallon tank, so you're not babysitting it all day. It has automatic voltage regulation and low harmonic distortion, so sensitive electronics are safe to plug in. Starting it up is simple with an electric push button or the remote key fob, and the outlets include both a 30-amp and a 50-amp transfer switch, ready connection. That makes it ready to plug straight into a home setup. It does weigh over 200 pounds, so moving it takes some effort, but the never flat wheels and lift bracket help a lot. Customers like the clear instructions, easy maintenance reminders, and the tri-fuel capability. Some say it's a bit loud, though that's expected for this much wattage. If you need serious backup capacity, this one stands out. Durostar DS 13000MX. Best rugged 50-amp generator. If I had to pick a generator that looks and feels built for tough jobs, this one takes that spot. With 13,000 peak watts and 10,500 running watts, it has the strength to keep an entire home going, from lights and refrigerators to air conditioning. The dual fuel setup is a big plus too, giving you the choice between gasoline and propane, depending on what's handy. Starting it up is easy with the push of a button, but there's a recoil backup if you want that old-school pull cord option. A remote start adds convenience, which is especially nice if you don't feel like heading outside in the middle of the night. Safety is covered with a carbon monoxide alert system, surge protection, GFCI outlets, and automatic low-oil shutdown. The front-facing fuel selector makes switching fuels simple, and the control panel is laid out in a way that's easy to understand. The all-metal frame gives it a rugged build, and with wheels and a handle kit, moving it isn't too much trouble. Customers highlight its ability to handle big loads smoothly, with some even running 2-story homes. Complaints are minor, like long shipping times, but most find it dependable and worth the investment. So that's a look at some of the top choices if you need a strong generator with a 50-amp connection. There's something here for different needs, whether you care most about noise, fuel flexibility, or just raw strength. If you're interested in any of the products, the links are waiting for you down in the description. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and click the notification bell so you don't miss what's coming next. Drop a comment if you have any questions, or if you've got a funny story about losing power at the worst possible time. I'd love to hear it. And if you want more, check out our other videos too. Thanks for watching.